we gotta do our own thing, but oh my goodness. I thank you, yeah. All right. I don't know if this is my last one, but it is. I had so much on my heart, and let's see if we can just talk this thing out. Let's see if we can talk this thing out. I didn't have there was like so many different things I wanted to cover, and then I was like, I don't want to make it long, and then I'm double checking and verifying, and I don't want to. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That right there. Right there. Still on the job training. Still on the job training, pausing for perspective. Every time we, who's doing next week? Okay. Now, I am covering some things, but I'm not covering what you. Is that right? So I want to let you know, it's going to set it up for when you do come up. So, okay. I don't do this very often, but here we go. Disclaimer. Okay. Uh-oh. Thank you. There you go. Hear these praises from a grateful heart. All right. Isaiah. Okay, disclaimer. I want y'all to remember this. I need you to remember this. I need you to understand this. I need you to always keep this in your forefront of your mind. Remember that everything that we discuss today, or anything that we discuss in here, most times, is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. It might not even apply to you sitting in here. It is for those who are in covenant relationship with Yahuah Elohim of the Hebrews, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The scriptures does not apply to those who do not accept and agree with his covenant. I need y'all to understand that. So whatever I cover in here, whatever is covered in here, it only applies to these people. But if Adon Yahuah is your Elohim and you have said kin, yes, to his laws, his statutes, his judgments, his commandments, then his instruction applies to you. Not to your cousin that's out there, not to your nephew, not to your great aunt, your uncle. Huh? It don't apply to the random stranger you meet on the street. You see them doing something, the Bible says, Most High will lead you in your evangelistic work. But everything that we talk about in here applies to the house, applies to those that are in the covenant with him. And with that, we start. Brought this back. Perspective. How we view things based on from our viewpoint or understanding versus how Yahuah sees things. And every time we investigate the scriptures, right, we want to always start from that perspective, not from our old understandings. There's so much stuff in that. Just so much. Right? Just saying perspective. If something's in perspective, it is considered as a part of the complete situation so that you have an accurate and fair understanding of it. Right. Defining perspective. And I don't want to beat that horse. All right. 2 became 1, the team perspective. The team perspective. Now, everybody in here should know the order of headship. Everybody in here should know the order of headship. 1 Corinthians 11:3. And this is very important because in the assembly, it is made up of individuals in particular, but it's made up of families, right? And so everything has an order. Yahuwah's whole kingdom has an order. And if we have a problem within that order, the disruption in that order, it leads to chaos, or it doesn't function correctly. And so we want everything that we do in the name of Yahuwah to function like it's supposed to function. Now, I realize that we all come from various backgrounds. We all come from different upbringings. We all had different experiences in life that we bring with us when we finally wake up to the knowledge of truth. We was raised differently. We didn't, if we were looking at our parents as being the example of how to be husband and wife, or even mother and father, we'll find it lacking, right? Because everything they did based on how they feel, what their mama said, what the world was doing. We even do that, right? We say, let's get Dr. Spock's book, How to Raise Our Children, because we feel that the things that sometimes in the scripture is too hard. If we read it, I don't think it takes all that. But we're trying to get back to Yahuwah's perfect order. We're trying to grow into the perfect man, Mashiach, right? So it says, but I want you to understand that Hamashiach is the head of every man, and the husband is the head of his wife, and Eloah is the head of Mashiach. So, Father, I want you to notice something. I put this down here like this. The Father is the creator, master of all. Yahushua HaMashiach. He's a servant. He's a master. He's a brother. He's a son. He's a husband. A bridegroom. Husband. You have a man. He's a servant. He's a master. He's a brother. He's a son. He's a husband and a father. The woman, she's a servant. She's a mistress or a master. That's the way you say master, female. A sister, a daughter, a wife, and a mother. These are all very important roles. We're going to touch on a little bit of it as we go. I know I'm going to have to come back to it because it's like I said, it's just so much I want to talk about that the Most High has been correcting me on. How to govern properly in my own home, right? How to govern myself. As I'm walking, trying to get this driving, I realize I'm moving. But then if I don't do what I'm required to do, I find that I'm not moving completely, right? You're trying to figure out, why is this so hard? Why is this, I'm pulling, but there's something that he wants us to understand. This is a team. If one of them don't function properly, it don't go, right? They're doing their jobs. You give us an assignment, we got to do our jobs, right? I hope y'all follow me there. Am I losing anybody? Okay. We all on Yahuwah's family. We all on his team. We all a part of his entourage. All right. None of us are free agents or radicals. All right. I want us to understand this. We all have a part. We all have a role. And I'm going to focus on this guy because I got to deal with me first, right? I'm going to deal with me first. Because when I deal with me, then it's going to help me better equipped to deal with the mistress, with the master, with my wife, right? All right. Now this applies. The same thing applies whether you're married or single. It means master. Yeah. All right. Your mistress, female. Now watch this. This is all important. You see the dynamics? You see that? That's very important. That's very important. We're gonna go into why from the beginning. You know, I'm just gonna gloss a lot of this over because we already know it. But Genesis 1:26. And Elohim said, "Let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them have what? Dominion." And he says, so Elohim created man in his own image, and Elohim's in the image of Elohim created him, male and female. He created them. Now this is a synopsis. This is a synopsis, right? It's like a big worldview picture, like from day one all the way down. It's the big screenshot. Then we're gonna get into the details. All right. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it." Did he well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We'll get to it. All right. Genesis 2:7-9. Then Yahuah Elohim formed the man of the dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. So now we see him creating, we're going into details now. And Yahuah Elohim planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. So who created the man? And who did he create him for? For himself. So he was responsible directly to him. All right, let's keep going. And out of the ground, Yahuah Elohim, I do this on some surface, like I'm not going to dig into it. I'm gonna let the other teachers do the digging. They can dig all the other jewels and gems out all they want, because there's a bunch of them in there, right? But this is for the basic understanding of believers, right? So you can just read it and you should be able to grasp these concepts. And out of the ground, Yahuah Elohim made to stir up every tree that is pleasing to the sight and good for food, and the tree of life was in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil was there too. So he had two trees in the midst of the garden. All right, let's see what he says. Man's responsibility. All right, Yahuah took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to what? Work it and do what? Keep it, meaning what? Guard, protect, take care of it. Make sure nobody violates his property, right? Right. And then he said he didn't give man dominion over it, right? He told him he can rule it. So we'll see. And Yahuah Elohim commanded the man, saying, you may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of good knowledge you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die. So he don't know what death is. So, okay, but he told him not to do it. So guess what he says? I ain't gonna do it, boss. There you go. But we see man's responsibility. Let's see what his responsibilities are. Work, dominion, to govern, to keep, to guard, protect, to care for. He's to be fruitful, he's to multiply, he's to fill, he's to subdue, he's to teach, instruct, and be an example. That's what it is. But there's one thing. How can he multiply or be fruitful or fulfill or subdue anything by himself? Huh? How can he do it? His Most High looking at him. Before we get there, I put this here first. So I want to tell you, why did Yahuah want man to multiply? That's an open question. You want a mic? There's a mic. Not you. Not Maureen. No Maureen. I know you. Why do you want him to multiply?
He saw it wasn't good for him to be lonely.
Okay. We're going there, but this the question is, why did Yahuah want man to multiply?
Shalom, can I be heard?
I know Michelle. He's top level knowledge. I'm gonna stay in the room for a minute.
Oh, pardon me, I yield.
Hold on, hold on.
Because mankind was created to praise the Most High.
Mankind was created to praise the Most High. We got anybody else? Any other takers?
That he needed a team in order to do that.
He needed a team in order to do it. Oh, okay. Why did Yahuah want man to multiply? Why did he want him to multiply? Hold on. Who's wait? Iman? Hold on. Okay. 2 online. Okay. You yield. All right. Give me the 2 online. Who is it? Namana, Toriah, Yahuah. Netzariah, you don't count. I'm gonna let you. You're gonna get your day. Toriah, Namana. Okay, Namana and Toriah.
Shalom, Ore.
Shalom.
The reason why the Most High wanted men to multiply is because he made man in his image, and in order for him to govern, to work, to guard and protect, he needed man to multiply.
All right, now, Torah, you got something different? Torah. No? Okay.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry. To build his nation, to build his kingdom.
To build his kingdom. All right, yeah. So he wants more of him in the earth. Huh? That's why he said, I need you to multiply, man. And so how does one multiply? Well, you know this word, how does one multiply? There's various ways to multiply. I'm talking about in all the aspects of multiplication. Anybody got to get a mic? Got to get a mic. We talking here today, family. I'm just trying to encourage us as we walk towards his perfection.
To multiply, you must first plant a seed and nurture that seed into new growth.
Okay, so there's various ways to plant seeds, right? There's a natural, right? There's natural seeds and there's spiritual seeds. What you got?
He's gonna need somebody to procreate.
Somebody to procreate. It's gonna take 2. All right, let's go ahead and ain't nobody online? No, we good? Namana, she want to go ahead now.
Sikamori, in order to multiply a seed, a male seed must be planted in the female seed, a womb.
Okay, so we got already a picture of it, right? Because he has the trees. They had the seed in themselves. What happened to, if you ever watched the tree, how did they multiply themselves? Birds might eat them, seeds, move it out and disperse it, or it might fall and then the fruit rots and then it goes in the ground and another tree plants. You've seen the pine cones. There's nothing but seed in there. They fall and you got all these clumps of pine trees growing up around. All right, so we know how that goes, but this is it. There's several ways you can have children, right? You can take on fatherless children, right? You can make others like yourself in character, disciples. Right now, we got the process is in motion. We ain't got to worry about starting over again. Now we're trying to, in Mashiach, make disciples. We're trying to multiply this kingdom that's in us and spread it abroad. Because while we're doing that, the picture is the kingdom is getting bigger. The garden is getting larger. It's getting larger, starting to spread. So as they come in, now, right now, we can't see it too clear. We only a little small group of people. I used to call it a blood cell within the body. Okay? And there's a lot of other groups that's around us that we don't even know. And sometimes we touch base with them, and sometimes we run into conflict because of different things, but they're yet with the same understanding. Mashiach said, how the Talmudim said, hey, man, they're over there preaching you, and they're not with us. He said, well, if they're not, against us, they're for us. So that's the kind of attitude you got to have walking out here when somebody's holding up Mashiach, holding up the commandments, but they're saying something different. You say, okay, keep pushing in, keep pressing in, because the same master that called me called them, right? And they're trying to find their way to the path and down the path of Yahuah, right? Everybody's trying to find their way. But he put people in our way, right? So let's keep going. So he said to be fruitful. And this is what? Parah. I do a little bit of Hebrew. This is Counsel. All right. It's to produce offspring of people, give birth to offspring, increase, and even connect to salvation. Ravah, right? Be many, multiply, increase of persons, also of thoughts, days. Be great. Grow up of person to rear up children. It's going to be a fun study. Huh? All right. Mala. Fill the earth, both in heaven and earth, like he fills the heaven and earth. He wants us to fill the earth like he fills everything, right? Tabernacle, fulfill, accomplish, complete the word of Yah. He wants us to complete it. He doesn't want it to lie dormant. He wants it to spread. The number of days, the deeds, consecration, ordaining oneself to Yah, to be full with, fully trust wisdom, to fully trust wisdom. Let's see what else. Kavash, to make a slave. But this is dominion, to subdue it, right? Dominion, to dominate the earth, to subdue sin that's in the land right now, right? It can be applied to that. The Israelites, to be under their control, right? To just everything has to be under his domain. Because if it's under our control, ultimately it's under his control, right? That's our job. We are ambassadors for his kingdom, all right? So we're supposed to be fruitful, we're supposed to multiply, we're supposed to fill, do, but a man can't do it by himself. A man and his woman. Man and his woman, right? Starts there. All right. The Yahuah Elohim said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him. And out of the ground, Yahuah Elohim had formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever he called them, man called every living creature, that's what it was, right? That was his name. And the man gave names to all the livestock and all the birds of the heavens and did every creature or a beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found a helper fit for him. So he's working. I don't know how long he was working. How long do you think it took him to name all the animals? You think so? It didn't get complicated with us with the Greek and the Latin. Yeah, make up a name every time we find a new thing. All right, the good gift. Right, so Yahuah said, I want to give him something, and he needs something. I need to give him something to help him because he can't do what I want him to do. Right, so Yahuah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, he took one of his ribs and closed up the place of the flesh. And the rib of that Yahuah Elohim had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to him, to the man. Did she have a choice in this matter? She saw Adam was like, he's not tall enough. He's not built. He's too dark. He's too light. He ain't got no beard. He got a scraggly beard. He's patchy. He smells, No. He didn't have no choice either. Whatever came to him, that's what he got. And he was satisfied with it. It was from the Most High. Every good and perfect gift comes from Yahuah, right? So this was a good gift. And he said it was suitable for him. All right. And then the man said, this at last is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman. We usually just say, we just put Kawa in there because, we know what happened in the end. But that's what he called her when he saw her. And that means there was a man and there was a woman, like Ish and an Isha, because she was taken out of the Ish. And therefore a man shall leave his mother and father and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become what? A team, a unit. Yes. No, you unified, one team. That's what they're supposed to become. That's the principle. This is a perfect world. Right? Is that the way it is now? This is just pre-sin. And he said the man and the wife were both naked and were not ashamed. In other words, they was able to communicate freely. It was nothing between them. They could just be, you know what I'm saying? They could just be, and they were happy. They were operating and functioning the way it's supposed. And that's what we're trying to get back to, right? In our right now. How many of y'all think that's possible? Is it possible? When we die, the brother said, nope, not possible right now. All right, that's good. No, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with your thinking. Don't say yes and then say no later. You know what I'm saying? Say what you're going to say up front. Because Yahuah is going to hold us accountable for our words. Right now you're saying yeah, and then when it's time to do it, that's too hard. We say yes right now, and then when it's time to put it into action, because there's some things he's going to require of us. We're going to see it in a minute. But go ahead.
So I think, so those that are saying yes, they're basically saying yes to what they are reading, what they understand it now.
Got it.
Things change as they get deeper.
Oh, okay.
For
okay.
Akshav, for now.
Akshav, okay.
I can do
okay. But when the Most High was looking at them, he's looking at them as a functioning team. When we came into Mashiach, what happened to us? Go ahead, pick up the mic. I need to know what you think.
We wasn't functioning after we read what he mean by function.
Okay.
We did our own thing and it seemed right in our eyes.
Bingo. We did whatever was right in our own understanding. Okay, yeah. Whatever was right in our own understanding. Right? But he says something about being a new creation. Right? So when we come into the knowledge of the truth, there are some things that should happen. He talks about being regenerated, called it born from above, being born anew. That means we should be walking in the newness of life. Right? We're trying to get back to this place. And like I said, this not just apply to whatever situation you're in right now, whatever your status is, it applies to you too. It applies to you too. You got everybody covered. Believe me. So we're trying to get back to the team. We are supposed to be functioning as what? A team. There's one body, right? There's no male and female. There's no bond of free, right? There's no I'm just overly rich and I got all this privilege. No. He looks at us as one, operating as one, moving as one. Okay. Let's keep it going. All right. The creation process is set. So 1 Corinthians 11, go back to it. For a man ought to have his, ought not to have his head veiled. I'm not going to cover that right today. Since he is in the image and reflection of Yahuah, right? and the woman is the reflection of the man. Now, how did the Most High come up with the concept of a woman? How did he come up with her? What did he put in her? What was it that did he do? I just want you to put that on your mind. Just think about that. Think about it. I want you to think about where he gets this say, this is what this woman is going to be like. He just said, the man, he said, I'm going to pull this. You were just thinking, oh yeah, you're going to make him like him. You're going to put certain things in him. But he put certain things in the Isha. Right? So we're going to get there. And she is supposed to be a reflection of him. All right. Indeed, the man was not made for the woman. Huh? From woman, you're right. He was not made from the woman, but the woman from man. I'm thinking King James language, you know. I do, because I've read it so much, right? Indeed, she was not made, he wasn't made from her, but she was made from him. That means she was made for him. Neither was the man created for the sake of the woman, but the woman for the sake of the man. It was something he needed. Do you need your woman right now? Brothers, do you need your woman right now? Come on, hey, watch your mouth. Huh? I need you to think about it.
Always need them.
All right. All right. Nevertheless, in Yahuah, a woman is not independent of a man, nor a man independent. In other words, I can't do my function without her. She can't do her function without me. It doesn't mean you just totally can't operate. We can't do the thing we need to do. Subdue, create, procreate. I can't do it without a woman. But I know now that you can go get a, science of, the world of wickedness have said, okay, I don't need a man now. Right? I don't need a man. And man, some men say that the ones that's, flying that pink and blue flag, they don't need a woman either. We can have children too. They go and get a uterus implanted in them just so they can bear children and thumb their nose at the Creator. And they're thinking, oh, it's my body, my choice, my right. I can do whatever I want. I don't need this. I don't want to function like that. I want to just do my thing, whatever feels good. Do it till you're satisfied. All right? All right. For just as a woman came from a man, so man cometh through a woman, but all things come from Elohim. So in other words, the process is set. Now I couldn't come out without my mama. My mama couldn't come out without her daddy. It was a process. It's a process. It's set in motion. There's not one over the other in this process. They're supposed to function the way the Most High designed them to function. All right. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Let's see. All right. Remember I asked that question? Where did he get that woman from? Where did he get the blueprint, the design? He didn't go back into the ground. He pulled it out of this man, and then he formed this woman after a pattern. Everything has a pattern in the Shamayim, and we're formed after patterns. So the woman was styled after wisdom. She was styled. Can't say woman is wisdom, but she was styled after. She has it in her. Styled after her. Say, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from Yahuah. Huh? It sounds good, huh? I'm just going to deal with the positive today. All right. A good wife is a crown to her husband. But she who brings shame is like rottenness to his bones. Now, all this refers to wisdom. This is how wisdom is. For whoever finds me, this is talking about wisdom, finds life and obtains favor from Yahuah. This is the style. He styled her after. Yeah. He gonna like this because he liked the one he had. You know, the wisdom he created. He said, I'm gonna put, you was with, oh, we'll get to it. All right. And he said, you'll do fine. You'll be great. He possessed it from the beginning. House and wealth are inherited from parents, but a prudent wife is from Yahuah. Okay. Do we have any crowns in here? Be honest with yourself now. Are you crowning? Do we have good things? Do we have the good thing? Or do we have prudence? Hold on now. Hold on. Don't get happy. Don't get happy. I want us to think about this now. I want you to think about this because we're talking about Yahuah's wife, his virtuous wives. I told you girls, you special. And the more I start looking at it, I said, God, be more careful. Because how we treat you is how we get treated. Right? But it also depends on how you respond. It's a call. It's a call and response. It's a call and response, right? The man is going to react to you just like Yahuah reacts to us. If we're obedient and willing and obedient, he's right there. But if we are disobedient and don't do what he said do, he cuts us off. He puts us in the corner. He don't talk to us. He puts us on timeout. He won't let us in his presence. I don't want to talk to you right now. All right. I want you to think about this now. We're trying to throw off the old man. Not think like this world out here. We're no longer a part of this world out here. It should not be a part of our thinking how we deal with one another. We should not try to defraud one another or cheat one another or misuse one another on any level. We should not be trying to subdue one another because we're supposed to be operating as one. And because of our dysfunctional backgrounds, we dealing with these things. We saying, yeah, I went in the water and I came up, but as soon as so-and-so stepped on my toe, it's better for me just to stay at home and I don't have to deal with nobody. And I can just, Father, I thank you for keeping me, thank you for keeping me at home. Go ahead, you got something to say? Talk to me.
I'm just trying to find out how should I put myself throughout your lesson.
Okay.
Like, am I supposed to be the Ish or the Ishai right about that?
You're the Ish. You're the representative. Hold on. Let me get this clear.
What I'm
Every
saying
man,
is like,
hold on. I want you to get you clear. I got you. Every man represents the Father and the Mashiach. That's what you represent to the world, whether you're married or single, right? You're preparing yourself. You should be preparing yourself, whatever it is. If you decide not to get married, that's fine too. But you should be prepared to do the job that you're supposed to do, because you don't have to be married to take care of the fatherless. You don't have to be married to take care of the widows. When you see people in need that don't have something and you can step in and fulfill something, it doesn't have to have you don't have to have anything physical in that relationship, but you can fulfill the need, right? You can do that because that's our responsibility. We'll get to it more, all right? But that's the men. Man, go ahead, you got it.
I just have a comment because I've actually been working on something on the virtuous woman and broke her down into wisdom, that she is wisdom, because wisdom is like in a feminine form. So I've been breaking it down. And when you said the woman style after wisdom, I saw her as wisdom, not just as the woman, but as wisdom, like literally.
Yeah, wisdom is the Most High's possession. He said he possessed it from the very beginning. It's his belonging. It's his treasure, you know. But it's not his wife in the sense that we think.
So just in case as you're going, I don't want no one to misunderstand and say Kokma wisdom is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's sharing with you the attributes
of it,
of Kokma, of wisdom.
Attributes. He said, put this in you, right? He made him intelligent, cunning, resourceful. That describes you guys, right? It describes you, right? Cunning, intelligent, resourceful.
So when you say cunning, some people might not think that that's a good thing.
Wisdom knows how to outfox, right? He knows how to go in and out. A person that knows when to be quiet and when to speak. Yeah, that's what cunning does for you. You ain't saying too much, but you know when to start talking. You know what I'm saying? Lamana?
Hold on, Maury. When I think of the attributes of wisdom in a woman, the attributes of wisdom in a woman is a woman. Not only what you've spoken of, she's always observant, and she's learning. She knows how to be gentle. She knows how to be kind. She knows how to think for herself. She knows.
We're going to touch on this in a minute.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
We're going to touch on it in a minute.
Okay, I'll be quiet then. I won't
touch on it.
Boundaries. Shalom.
Yeah, we're going to touch on that in a minute.
Okay, shalom.
All right. Also, okay, here you go. Gonna keep on clicking. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and she teaches of kindness in her tongue. Kindness in the tongue. She knows how to talk to people. She's not rough, not gruff. You know what I'm saying? She knows how to talk to people. She knows how to go in and out. She knows when to say what and who to say it when. That's what we're looking for, right? That's what maturity takes with you, how to go. And you know, because like he has assignments for each group, right? He has assignments for the men. He has assignments for the women, right? A lot of times, sometimes people want to take that assignment that they have and swap it, you know? But he gives a certain responsibility to the men and he gave certain responsibilities to the woman. But we have to be good with that. You know what I'm saying? With what he has put in order. All right, let's keep going. One more.
Oops, shalom, Mare. My
Shalom.
question is, do we have like attributes like wisdom, kindness? Can do those ones can and do overlap? I mean, it's not they're not gender specific, if I can use that word.
Yeah. I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying she was specifically designed with these particular things after design or styled, should I say, styled after wisdom. I'm talking about the woman that he created in the garden. Right? The woman he created in the garden. I'll make sure everybody understand that. The woman he created in the garden. Right? We're trying to get back to the garden. The men he created in the garden before the fall. Because during the fall, it reveals some things. But before the fall, this is what we're trying to get back to, right? Through Mashiach, right? All right, so Deuteronomy 31, positive. He says that he asks a question, an excellent wife who can find? That's a question. Who can find it? Yahuwah is looking for them. Yahuwah is looking for them. She is far more precious than jewels, and the heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of his life, or her life, all the days of her life. Right? Thank you. Right? All the days of her life. He styled her after wisdom. Let's keep going. 3, he said, happy are those who find wisdom and those who get understanding. For her income is better than silver and her revenue better than gold. Who can find this excellent wife who's more precious than jewels? She's more precious than jewels, and nothing you desire can compare with her. Yahuah is looking for his jewels. We have a sister who names herself Yahuah's jewel. Yahuah's jewel. She's trying to be Yahuah's jewel. That's her ambition, right? I want to be his jewel. That's what we should all want, right? You should want to be his jewel. We should want to be his man in the image and stature of Mashiach, right? Who can find that? Let's keep going. Now, this Proverbs 8:22-23, you're familiar with it. For those, he says, Yahuah, and speaking of wisdom, Yahuah possessed me at the beginning of his work, right? He acquired it at the beginning of his work. Now you stand right here and watch me. And the first of his acts of old, ages ago, I was set up at the first, before the beginning of the earth. So this goes back. When it goes back. Then he says, skip down to 30-31. He says, then I was beside him. Who's supposed to be beside the man? It's Isha. So she's supposed to be there. For what reason? Like a master workman. Right? They added the word master. All this is like implied. They just kind of put it in there. That's not really in the text. But workman is. She's like a workman. And I was his daily his delight, rejoicing before him always. This is characteristics of what he put in you, how you should be he wants you to be with him. He says, oh yeah, I got something good for you, Adam. I got something good for you. Watch this. I took her out of me. I made the wisdom here. I'm gonna form you one too here. So you can be like me. Boom. Right? So that's, for those that don't understand the significance of a woman, I don't feel like I wasn't born that way. Right? They don't know. The enemy comes to confuse a lot of things. Men who don't want to be the image of the Most High. Women who don't want to be in the image of wisdom. Right? You might know somebody. Right? But she rejoiced before him and rejoicing in his inhabited world and delighted in the children of men. She was happy to see it. She's like, oh, wow. You've done such wonderful work. She's right there lifting him up and esteeming him and praising him and doing her function, right? Its function, right? The function that she was designed for. She's not to be designed for. Everybody has their skill sets, but you have yours, and he made you like her in that style, right? So I keep putting her on and up. The Ruach wisdom. Ruach wisdom. Okay. Man's test. Remember I said I was going to deal with the man? Yeah. This is man's test, right? Because he was created first. He was given instruction. He was given dominion and governance, told what to do. He began to work. He was supposed to guard. That means he wasn't supposed to let anything in. He's supposed to know everything going on in his domain. If there's something, he could stop it. Let's remember that. But this is the test. Now the serpent was most crafty that any other beast of the field that Yahuwah Elohim has made. He said to the woman, did Elohim actually say, you shall not eat of any tree in the garden? And she replies, and the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden. And Elohim said, but Elohim said, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden. Weren't there 2 trees in the midst of the garden? Okay, all right. Neither shall you touch it, lest you die. But the serpent said to the woman, you shall not surely die. For Elohim knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you shall be like Elohim's. And I think last week, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks or was it 3 weeks ago, when Moreh Amidat was teaching, he didn't even bring up the fact that this wasn't Yahuwah Elohim, it wasn't the creator's wisdom that they were going to receive, right? It was the mighty ones, the other Malachim, the Counsel of hell. They don't know, right? So this one person off the council who's kind of like upset about things. When they get by, we get back. I'm pretty sure they're gonna cover it. Gonna cover it. Knowing good and evil. If you're on the Patreon page, I got some good lessons on there. I'm trying to tell you, you're going too deep. All right. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was one to delight the eyes, and that the tree was one that desired to make one wise, and she took of its fruit and ate, and she gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Now that sentence make it sound like he was standing right there the whole time, right? Yeah. No, he wasn't standing right there. No. This is a synopsis. They got so much to this story, and I'm pretty sure other more is going to cover it. But let's see what happens. He gave some to her husband, he didn't eat. This is where he failed his test. Because who gave him instruction? Oh, okay. So who he was supposed to follow? Now there's I ain't gonna let somebody else deal with that. No, you got somebody else going. I was gonna talk about, there's some things that happened that led up to it, but they'll cover it. All right, man's failure. Are we now? We're in the part where we've done ate the fruit. How many of us still eating the fruit? Huh? Are we still eating the fruit? Huh? Whatever she brings to me, hey baby, here you go. Are we still eating the fruit now that you've come into the knowledge of the truth? If
you know the word and you know the truth, you should walk in the truth, and you should know your role as head of the house.
Oh, wow. Man's failure. He was the head of the garden. He was put in charge. Most High said, okay, you got it, buddy. You got the keys to the car. Let's drive. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed 4 fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths. I'm smiling because my daughter sent me a little thing and it had the Adam and Eve story, and Mosai come down and say, he's laughing like, who told you you was naked? And they're looking at each other, and the snake over there sweating. And I'm seeing it right now, like, instead of that time, who told you? And they heard the sound of Yahuwah Elohim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. All right. And there's so much, there's so much there. So much there. And Yahuwah Elohim called to the man and said to him, where are you? Huh? He's calling, he's saying that right now. where are you? Men just walking past every day up and down the streets. You was out there just minding their own business, hiding. Said men love darkness because their deeds are evil. Continuously, thoughts just, so we hiding out there. He's like, where are you? I'm looking for some righteous men. Yeah. And so he said, I heard the sound of you in the garden and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. Here we go. And he said, who told you you were naked? And have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat? Right? And he's like, instead of him saying, yeah, huh? Instead of just saying, yeah, I'm sorry, I did it. I admit it. I did it. I didn't mean to let you down. Yahuah turned my life around and give me. Right? That's what he loved about David. Bang. All right. He said David was a man after his own heart. All right. But he said, Adam said, the man said, Adam said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
They come, Maury.
Are we blaming? Oh, you got go ahead.
You know what, Maury? I've always wondered, Maury, why? And I'll probably know that
It's a long story.
I've always wondered, why didn't Adam throw the apple down? He knew what the Most High said. Throw the apple down and say, no, I'm not eating this. And then rebuke the evil ones from the garden. He did not have to eat that apple.
All right. You're right.
And
But
now he's going to throw the woman under the bus because he was a coward. He was useless.
All right. I understand, sister. Hallelujah. So right now, let's pull it today. You got something to say? Okay, go ahead.
Somebody online is asking, what does the tree represent?
The tree of knowledge of good and evil? The knowledge of good and evil. The very thing that they say, they had something they sent me, and a person was trying to argue that we should have eaten, you should have listened to the serpent because the creator, I don't know why I'm going out at. The creator he wanted to keep that knowledge for himself. He didn't want nobody to know nothing. So that's why that's why we should have listened to the serpent. I'm thinking to myself, that's what we did. That's what we got right now. This is what you're looking at. This is the product of us following the serpent's advice, right? Nakash, right? There's something behind that. Go ahead, we got it. Sorry, talk to me, brother. I know you're ready. You want to come up and teach this?
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to add a little something because the question was asked, like, why didn't Adam say no? And I said, well, this is a great opportunity for self-reflection and humility, because how many times have we disobeyed when we were told not to do something? And we got to remember, Adam was in a certain time. He was in the Father's presence. The servant was there. His woman was there. He had some heavy weights on him. For some of us, we couldn't even, we disobeyed for something as simple as whether it's not keeping a Sabbath or turning down a pork barbecue sandwich. So this is just a good example of a man is wicked from his earliest days, and we all have to battle, whether it be lust of the eyes or desiring things that we know we shouldn't have. So it's just a good moment of reflection, how any one of us could fall at any point, but at all times we got to go back to the Father's word.
That's it. All right. We talking modern now. We bringing it to now. That's what we're trying to do. Toria?
Yep. So I want to answer her question a little bit more, the occulting, and breaking down, especially now, what society says and everything. Like how you said, why didn't he pretty much correct her? A man correcting a woman in society today is one of the biggest things or the worst things that they view as bad. That's him treating her like a child, or you're the boss me. All those things play in the narrative, which is funny. She asked, I'm like, if you deal with most modern couples, even ones that some in the Hebrews, one of the biggest issues is if a man corrects her.
Okay. All right. So we're going to get to that part. I want to get to that part. But right now I'm dealing with this brother's failure. And are we continue to fail? How many times I ate of the fruit because I love her, because she's my desire, because she is what I want. Y'all don't look over there. I'm talking hypothetically. Don't look at my wife. Everybody eyes going over there. What you should be doing, they pull that mirror up. The man's failure. Right now, if a person is not grounded and rooted in understanding in their faith, they'll fall for a pretty face and a smile. A pretty face and a smile. I know. I understand. Yeah, but everybody don't like that. Some of them like them, a little different. Everybody got their preference, right? So a pretty face and a smile, right? That's man's failure. He's like, wow. There's a long story, and the serpent and Eve had a conversation. You read about that. Kind of get in here. Go ahead, Michelle.
Shalom. I thought it's just a really interesting message today. What you were talking about, the woman being, styled after the wisdom of the Most High, right? And so, when we're going back into this story back in the garden, and and someone had asked, well, what does the tree of knowledge, this knowledge of good and evil represent? And what comes to mind is where it says in Genesis 3:6 that the woman saw that it was a tree good for food and pleasant to the eyes, a tree designed to make one wise. And more in Lamadyahu did a lesson where that word wise isn't the word chokmah, meaning the wisdom of the Most High, but that word is a different kind of word. It's sakal there, which is like almost in some translations, I believe it's translated as folly. So really this is this counterfeit wisdom that the woman had brought back to her ish, because she got fooled because of her lack of understanding of the word of the Most High. So it's just very interesting how this all ties in here.
Baruch Hashem. All right. Baruch Hashem. She brought it back to him. She was styled as the true wisdom. She fell for, the scripture says she was deceived. He talked real smooth. He knew what to say. He knew how to set it up. He was crafty. And she didn't have a strong sense of discernment. Don't blame her. Don't blame her. All right? Don't blame her, because he duping us today. He dupe a lot of us. come and say something smooth, sweet, think it's, I just know it was the Most High. You know? Yeah. I just knew it. What? He trying to keep something from us? Really? But he ate. He heard it directly from him. He knew that he talked to him all the time. That was his man, 100 grand. And he ate the fruit that she gave. It's later on says, the Most High says, why? We'll see. I hope I got it up here. I hope I got it up here. I want you to see this. He failed in his responsibility to the Creator, his Creator. He did not reflect Yahuwah's character in his words and deed. The woman was his test. He had free will. There was nobody to challenge him, to make him come out of his comfort zone, see if he's going to really, the Most High test, he'll say, okay, let's see if you're going to really keep my commandments, my laws, my statutes, if you're going to be under my government. I keep going up. Okay, I got to, can you hear me? All right. All right. The woman was his test. I told you, you can't be all by yourself and thinking you good. Oh, I got this. This is what the assembly does. It comes in, you tested in here. Not just on your job, because they don't care about no Most High. But it's when your brother that you're supposed to say, they're saying, Baruch Hashem, we're with you, and they do you dirty. How do you recover from that? Huh? It's when the person next to you talks about you behind your back, you find out about it, and then do you get the stink eye? Huh? Do you correct yourself? He would have never knew. Most like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put her down here, see how you do. Because the vulnerability, right? Oh, this is a good gift. Most High's not gonna give me nothing that's gonna hurt me. But to test you. That was not gonna happen to her. Because everything was in him. The seed was in him. All right. So the Most High did not hold her accountable directly, but she did receive correction and further instruction. Talking about the protection. He loves his daughters. He's got protections for you that the man don't have. I said that and they're like, really? Trying to figure out what kind of protections I got. Huh? Let's go. When I found out, I was like, oh, smack, right?
Because I just wanted to point out a couple of things before we move on from this particular section.
Mm-hmm.
One, it says that we are supposed to seek Yahuwah in all things, in all matters.
Mm-hmm.
You see nowhere in here where she handed it to him and said, eat. He didn't stop and say, hold on, let me seek Yahuwah first. Secondly, I just want to point out that technically he was in his flesh, okay? Because if you see Better Sheet 311, he said, who told you that you were what? So she's standing there in front of him in a certain manner.
That was after. That's after the fact. That's well after the fact. They were both. It was both embarrassed. All right, but you're on the right track. But in this case here, let's see if I got it. I don't know if I got it in here. There we go. The correction. All right, because he asked the man a question right later. But he dealt with because he blamed the woman, and now he says, then Yahuwah said to the woman, because he looked at Adam like, really, dude, you're gonna I put you in charge. The buck stops with the leader. It don't go down to the next person, but okay, let's see what happened. Let's see what she says. And she told the truth. Huh? She told the truth. This is not no lie. He told the truth, but he was supposed to say, it's my fault. I didn't vet the situation. I let this happen. I take ownership of it. I take ownership of it. You know, don't blame her. It's all me. That's leadership. When something don't go right in my home, I ain't gonna blame my Isha for it. It's my responsibility. It didn't get paid. It didn't happen. I'm supposed to know. You don't. This is coming from a. You know. You don't say I didn't know that was going on in my house. I'm supposed to be involved with my ear to the ground and have a relationship that my agent, if we're working together, is going to inform me of what's happening. Right? But that's the perfect world. We're going to deal with our world later. And so she told the truth. He said, what is this you've done? He said, the serpent, he deceived me and I ate. He deceived me. We talked about it and now saying, oh, yeah, okay. That sounds good. I mean, why would Moses want to keep us there? Yeah, you're right. You know, she didn't really know what it was said. She kind of like, yeah, shouldn't eat it, shouldn't touch it, da-da-da-da-da. But who was responsible for teaching her? Ooh. Or they might have said it one time and they kept it going. Look, Moses said, don't eat this tree. Let's keep going. And I told her. We how many times we done went over this verse since you've been in the truth? How you done lost count. How many times you done read it? You done lost count. Right? But she wasn't clear on the instruction. Maybe she wasn't really paying attention. Maybe she didn't really care. Who knows? But she said, well, the guy came in and said he did, blah, blah, blah. Okay, got it. All right? You want to say that? I don't know. All right. To the woman, he said, I will greatly increase your pains in childbirth. In pain shall you bring forth children. My daughter hate that. Why we got to do that? That's kind of cruel. I said, that's easy. That's an easy let off compared to what he could have did. Right? He said, and that your desire be for your husband, and he shall rule, the words there, shall govern over you. Right? He's going to govern over you. That was his job in the first place. That was his responsibility in the first place. But she knows now, hey, don't have a conversation without him. All right? I'm going to put it up here, and I think it's LXX. Because a lot of times you say, where did the word submission come from, right? So LXX, they translated in the Greek like this, from the original Hebrew. And said, there's a Masoretic text in this text here. And the woman said, and he said to the woman, I will greatly multiply your pains and your groins and your groanings while you're having birth, and your pains that shall bring forth children. And thou shalt submit to thy husband. That word is submit. He said, okay, now you submit to your husband, and he's going to govern you. We're trying to get back to the garden. That's hard. That's hard in modern days, right? Oh, that's back then, but now, oh my goodness. I got so many requirements, but he's not asking her to submit to Adam. He's saying submit to him. Adam represents him, right? Right? All right. The woman, the wife, was never intended to have autonomy or self-governing. She wasn't supposed to be a free agent, operating by herself independently, just thinking and doing what she wanted to do, blah, 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 blah. Right? What happens if I'm not married? That's what the question comes, right? What happens if I don't have an ish? We got that covered too. We're going to cover that. She was intended to be the esteem of the man, right? And ultimately, as the ish of, or the bride of Mashiach, we are to be for his esteem. We supposed to be those who are part of the bride. Those who, I'm not talking about the ones that's not a part of the bride, but those who are part of the bride, they're making themselves ready for whom? Their bridegroom. All right. Remember, put things in perspective. Look at it from, all right. Yahuah put the full responsibility back on the man. There's no way out of this. The full responsibility to wait is on Mashiach. He had to die. He had to be resurrected. He's sitting at the right hand. He's making intercession. He's got to vouch for his bride. And he got a lot of things he got to do for her. Right? And it's examples for what we have to do, because each one of our marriages and connections follow that pattern. Yahuah has a blended family. Ever heard that term before? Blended family. That means you don't have to be directly related to somebody for them to be a part of your family, for you to take care of them and bring them under your roof and raise them and protect them and watch over them. You always got something, man. I'm waiting for my break. All right. Thank you, y'all. I'm not complaining. Which is a protection of his virtuous wives. He puts this responsibility back on the man, and it protects his virtuous wives, but only if she's willing to submit to him. It can't protect if you don't want to submit to him. Right? Now, he gives you an option now. You have an option. We're going to get to it. I hope. I don't want to keep y'all too long. All right. Let's see what we got next. Honor your word. Okay, here we go. We're going to talk about some of these protections. I want you to watch this. I hope I ain't got no lords or gods in there. I was rushing. All right. I'm going to hear it. All right. Numbers 30. When I talk about this a lot, I kind of in passing, because I want people to understand and know and look at it. Because when I started reading, I was like, wait a minute. Are you serious? But this is the protection he has. And it applies to us individually. It applies to us in our married lives. It applies to us in our relationship to Mashiach. Right? Moses spake to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, saying, this is what Yahuah has commanded. Who commanded it? Yahuah. Let's not forget it. If a man vows a vow to Yahuah or swears an oath to bind himself by a pledge, he shall not break his word. Okay. And he shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. Period. Period. Nothing else. He says something, he vows to Yahuah, or he tells somebody, I'm going to do this or do that or do the other. He don't do what he said. He's bound to keep his word. That's why it's so important to let your yea be yea and your nay be nay with the brethren. If you can do it, I can do it. If you can't do it, that's why I love this brother. He just said no, yeah, no. He's very firm. Boom. Some other brothers the same way. No, yeah, no, I can do it. I can't do it. Nope. And it sounds cruel sometimes. Man, it's kind of hard. They just like, yes, no. Yes, no. I can do it. I can't do it. No, I'll be there. Oh, man, I was supposed to have been there, but you didn't even call. You didn't say you was coming. You didn't say you couldn't make it. We held to a high standard. No protection for us. Let's go on. Let's talk about the daughter in her father's house. In the father's house. Not the daughter that goes off while she's young in the father's house. Protection. All right. All right. If a woman vows a vow to Yahuah and binds herself by a pledge, while within her father's house in her youth. Now, when we talk about vows, you're thinking, oh, I just make this. It's making an oath or word or saying something that you're going to do something, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other. And you're saying this before the Most High. I swear to so-and-so. You know, everything. I swear on my mama's grave, and I swear on this, and I swear on that. You know, I'm telling the truth. I'm doing this and doing that, right? Be careful, right? But they have protection. We'll see it in a minute. And the father hears the vow and of her pledge, which she has bound herself, and he says nothing to her. Then all of her vows shall stand, and every pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand, and he gonna make sure she do every bit of it. But if her father opposes on the day that he hears it, no vow of hers, no pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. Yahuah will forgive her. Wiped out. Protection. Daddy said no. I said I was going to do this, but my daddy said no. All right. Free to go. Where's the man? Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, as far as like application now, there, according to the curse, fathers aren't there. So, and they're not, if they're not widows and there's no father there, is the woman supposed to attach themselves to?
We're gonna get there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I know. That's the look. I'm looking at the know the questions coming. I ain't got no husband. He dead. I'm divorced. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah. I said it once, but I'll say it again at the end. All right. Because the father opposed her, who forgave her? Ain't that nice? Does the men have that? Whatever proceed out of his mouth, he better do it. But she can say something frivolous, and the father hears about it. As soon as he hears about it, what you said? No, you ain't doing that. That's gonna stop right now today. Ain't happening. Free. Get out of jail free card. All right. The engaged woman. All right. If she marries a husband, see that word marries? That's not there. It's to be, it's a verb. Yes, and implying to be married to a husband. She's engaged, she's betrothed, she's in a covenant relationship of some sort where he got government over her. Father's agreed, he's been released, or she's bound herself to the man some way. And while under her vow, while she comes in under her vow, or any thoughtless utterance of her lips by which she has bound herself, and her husband hears it and says nothing to her on that day, on the day that he hears it, then her vow shall stand, her pledges by which she has been bound herself, it shall stand. But if on the day that her husband comes, her man comes to her to hear of it, he opposes her, then he makes void her vow that was on her. And that thoughtless utterance off her lips, that little thing she just said, this whatever and blah, 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 you can do that, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, by which she bound herself, Yahuah will forgive her. Get out of jail free. The men don't have that. They don't have that. Protection. Now, overall, this is speaking to what the Mashiach has done. But the application still applies. All right. Let's keep going. The married woman. 13 to 16, and the vow, any vow and any binding oath to afflict herself by her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it void. If he says, no, I know, no, you're not gonna do that, baby. As soon as he hears it, no, the Most High, I told him I would do. No, no, you're not gonna hold you accountable. You see, but if her husband says nothing to her from day to day, once he heard it, you remember that situation with Sarah, Abraham, and Hagar? He said, Abraham just listened to what she said. She's bounding herself by an oath. I'm gonna give you my handmaiden. I want you to do this. And at the end of all that, she said, what? It's your fault. Right? And she had it right to say it because you knew that I was gonna react like this. You know how I feel and da 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 da. I was just trying to be more spiritual. You know, I was trying to help the faith along. Huh? No. Abraham could have just said, nope, I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. We're just going to wait on Yah. And that would have been the end of that. What was I saying? Forgiven. All right. And so he has established it because he says nothing to her on the day in which he heard them, but he makes full null and void after he had heard it of them. Then he shall bear her iniquities. He didn't say nothing, then she didn't follow through. It falls on him. Ain't that something? Oh, how he loves me and you. These are the statutes that Yahuah commanded Moses about a man and his wife, and about a father and his daughter while she is in her youth within her father's house. Did y'all know that was in the law? It applies still today. That's why we have to be, that's why he puts a government, you know, okay, look, yeah, you got to talk to him about it, because if you don't, he's either going to establish or he's going to void it. If you say you can do it, yeah, you can do it. You can't do it, then you can't do it. You got to be okay with that. But the Yahuah ain't going to hold you for it. All right, let's go. All right. But any vow of a widow or of a divorced woman, anything by which she says binds herself, shall stand against her. Why is that? She doesn't have the covering. But Yahuah has that covered. Why? Why do you think Yahuah has that covered? He's her covering directly? Really? Let's go. Let's go. The bride of Mashiach. I'm almost done. Come on with it, Nay. Nah, man. Okay.
No, it's okay, Maura. You already said it. Okay, here we come. I'm coming down the road. All right, so here we go. And you say, Kepler's just writing, Shaul is writing this here, right? And he's writing to the Ephesus church, and he's telling them, wives, submit to your own husbands. Why is that? All right. So whatever I say up here don't really matter. Right? If you're married, it's what your husband tell you. So Pastor Porkchop shouldn't have been telling you nothing. Yeah, he shouldn't have been telling you nothing. Sister Jones, I'm gonna need you to go and do this or do that. And you know, Sister Jones is running around the city like she ain't got no family at home, and the husband sitting there talking about, this is what the church about. He don't have nothing to do with it because he's not getting no respect at home. I'm working for the Lord. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord. I'm working for him.
He's greater than you. Yeah, I'm operating in my gift. I'm prophesying and evangelizing and missionarying. Huh? No, you're not. You're not serving Yahuah. You're not serving the Elohim, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, you're not doing that. What you're doing is you're violating the order that the Most High has set. And if your husband wants you to stay home, guess where you're going to be? At home. If he wants you wherever he is, guess where you're going to be? Wherever he is. Huh? Whatever he wants you to do, guess what? Hey, yes, dear. Friends ask you, can I go? Can I go? Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, go ahead. I don't mind. I know them. You know, because he's trying to protect his home. He's trying to protect you. It's not to restrict you. It's not to, but again, I'm saying it's not for everybody. This is only for those that keep covenant. It's not for everybody. If you're not keeping covenant, don't worry about it. It don't mean nothing to you. It's just words in the book, and you can explain it all away. All right. For the husband is the head of the wife. We already went over that. The Mashiach is the head of the, I said, I did get one. A church, the assembly, his body, and is himself its savior. And as the assembly submits to Mashiach, so also the wife should submit to her husband, to everything, to their husbands. So if you're saying I submit to Mashiach, what you're saying is I submit to my husband. Right? If you have a covering, and everybody in here has a covering, you're either married, you're the daughter, or you're a part of the assembly, and at large, you submit yourself to the leadership here. All right. Let's see. And the husbands, now here it is. Husbands, love your wives. I didn't want to beat this up too much, but we got to beat it up a little bit. All right, because come on, man. Husband, love your wives as Mashiach loved the assembly and gave himself up for her. All right? Church. The church. The ecclesia in the Greek. You know what I mean. I call it. All right. Husband, love your wives. He got to command that. He got to tell us that. Why? Why do you think that is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, emphasis was bad. Yeah. Why is he got to say that? Why? Because he's not just saying it in Ephesus. He says other places too. Husband, love your wives. Husband, love your wives. Husband, love your wives. We come out of a bad situation out there, right? We coming out of a bad situation. We don't know nothing about love when we come into this thing. We don't know how to treat no woman, not a woman of Yah. We don't even know how to be a man of Yah. And like I said, when you first come into the walk, it's a fire sale. And your Isha is still a woman of the nations. So you sound crazy. I got to give up what? I got to do what? I got to leave what? I can't see who? Huh? Because he's thinking, I got to get this done right now. I got to make this happen today. And what usually happens is a train wreck. And you say, I was trying to keep the commandments and do the things Most High told me. She's just a wicked woman. She's just a wicked woman. That's how Mashiach feel about us. I'm trying to do the right thing, but she just won't listen to me. I told you he treats us like we treat our treat our wives. He does. Believe that. Your prayers will be hindered. Your prayers will be hindered. But it won't be hindered if you're a disobedient wife. Don't worry about it. I see the problem. I see the problem. Yeah. But if you got a woman that's actually submitted herself to the Most High and walking this thing out and trying to submit herself to Yahuah all the way, and you treat her cruelly, all she got to do is cry out. That's it. She go in her prayer closet and start crying to daddy. But again, it's conditional. You can't hold things to people's standards if you're not doing your part. You can't, if you're not doing your part, I can't do my part. And if I'm doing my part and you're not doing your part, but also I learned this, the next verse, that he might purify it, sanctify, right? And having cleansed her by the washing of the water of the word. I had an example that the Most High gave me, and I said, we all come in the truth, we on fire, the men are just walking ahead, and everybody's saying, oh, it's just all about the men because we just beating women up here. It's just the Bible just all about the men. The Bible just all about the men. The man, it's a man's world. You know what I'm saying? And we and our wives are standing there looking, trying to figure out what's going on. She's trying to keep up with you, but you're not reaching back for her. She wants to go, but and then you find yourself, come on here, woman. Come on, hurry up. Come on, I'm trying to get somewhere. And she's standing there like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? So that's when Mosai said, stop, son. Slow down and go back. All right? Come here, baby. It wasn't planned. All right. All right. So here I am walking ahead, and I'm just enjoying Yahuah. Hallelujah. And my wife, come on, baby. Come on. The water's great. Come on. And she's sitting there like, I'm trying. I'm studying. And I say, do this or do that. And she's not submitting nothing I'm saying. She got an argument about something. This argument about. I'm like, but I thought you was walking with you. I'm trying to understand you. I'm trying to understand you. Right? I don't know what you mean. I got to give this up. I got to give that up. I got to do this. I got to do that. What is this? Now you got to slow down, brother. Because if you got some wisdom and some understanding, some knowledge, now you got to go back. And you do what? See, I said, he's cleaning us up. Wiping the, say, baby, this is how it's done. Here, let me get you together. Let me put this on you. I want you to look good because you represent me. Is that not the steam? So, and I want you to, we're supposed to be a team. And if I'm up here, and he'll say, where's your wife? Where's your wife? Oh, she back there. I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what's wrong with her. She needs to come on here. All right. So now I got to go back. Hey, baby. All right. This is how this is done. Okay. That's what I need you to do. And then we're going to walk together. Okay. And I started teaching her little by little. And she grab it. She'll walk on little by little, little by little. Sometimes she fall or stumble. Don't worry about it. I got you. I'm not going to let nothing happen to you. I'm going to take, Father, it's my fault. I should have been more clear about this. And just keep walking with her, walking with her. And before you know it, she's growing, not takes years, exponentially. It happens exponentially. Before you know it, she's operating in her gift. You're operating your gift. She's doing her function. I'm doing my function. And Yahuah is getting all the esteem. Huh? Yes, all right. But you can't just neglected. Like, I'm doing my best. I'm telling her, da, 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 da. No, stop, slow down. Do her like Mashiach does you. Do her like the Most High does you. You messing up all the time. Yeah, all the time, brother. All right, that's even with us, right? So we got not only our wives, for those in the Morima and leadership, we got all the other people that we need to look after. So then that's another thing that's a burden for the wife, right? Because she don't understand all this. Why are you spending all this time talking to this person? Why are you spending all that time talking to this person? Why are they calling you and you answering their phone? You on those emails, you got text, you got this. Huh? And it seems like you ain't got no time for me. Right? She don't understand that you're working for the Most High. So you got to go back and say, okay, baby, I need you to help me. All right. So come on. This is what I'm doing. This is what's going on. Come on forward. And you explain this word to her. And if she is a covenant keeper, guess what she's going to do? Well, I understand that now. Okay. I understand. Okay. I see this. I see that. I see that. You start explaining things to her and walking it out with her so that she can come along with you. Because she's got gifts in her. She got abilities in her. She got talents in her. She's got knowledge in her. The treasure trove of information. But most of the time, all we hear is this wicked woman, this wicked, this wicked, this wicked, this wicked, this wicked. She's just so wicked, disobedient, wicked, 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 wicked. But we never talk about the wicked man, or the man who's self-righteous, or the man who's just not concerned, who says, I got it, get yours, I got mine. Man have an awesome responsibility in this truth. Do you want the responsibility? Because sometimes you're going to tell your wife, no, she's going to get upset and pout, but that's okay. Let her pout. Truth. You're doing this for a reason. I'm trying to get us to the kingdom. I'm trying to, because guess what? As long as you follow his lead, and he doing what the Most High told him to do, guess what? Into the kingdom you go. Into the kingdom you go. Into the kingdom you go. Because remember, you say something foolish, he just says, you're not doing that. Forgiven. You're not doing that. Forgiven. Man, say something. Dang. Father, please forgive. No, bro, you got to pay this vow. And you got to pay something on top of it. Don't open your mouth so quick next time. You got to finish this out because you represent me. You represent what I am. I'm a father. You're supposed to be a father to the fatherless. You're supposed to be a father. She didn't have no father. You're supposed to be her father. Show her how a father would love and appreciate and cherish her. I say, I try to do that with my daughter all the time. I say, your daughter love to get a hug from you and love on them and just, play with them and just be friends and explain stuff to them because they ask a million and one questions about life and they don't know nothing, right? But I want, because that's the way I want the Most High to be with me. When I go to him, I want him to have an open chair. Same thing with your wife. I want the Most High to receive me gladly. Every time I come in, I want him to lift out the staff. Let Hadessa in. Let Esther come in the room. What you want, baby? Huh? I want to say, hey, that's my son. Come on here. What you got? Not, you asking me for what? Didn't I just tell you to go do X, Y, and Z, and you didn't do it? Didn't your brothers need you, or didn't this stuff? I told you to make sure this happened. I gave you instruction, you failed to do it, and you coming to me for what? You better go sit down somewhere till I'm ready to see your face. I'm going to finish up here. Washing in the water of the word. He said, husbands likewise, husbands, live with your wives in understanding way. It's called to knowledge in the King James. Showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel. It does not mean that you lack strength in a physical sense. But Yahuah made you a specific way for a specific purpose. And you automatically get this if you're walking in the truth. I'm not talking about non-believers now. I mean, make that clear. If you're a believer and you're with a non-believer, you can't expect that. Yeah, there's a different role. You say if your husband's a non-believer, then you're supposed to be living before Yahuah like you're supposed to be living before Yahuah. And if your husband, he's still in charge of you, and if he's a cruel man, you don't have to stay there. You can separate. But that device of your leadership, you should be under somebody that can give you sound counsel in the situation. And he would want to talk to your ish. He shouldn't be like, well, just come over, let me talk to you. Come see me. You know, what you having problems? Huh? Really? Oh, fine sister like you. Tell you what. Huh? No, don't worry about it. Yeah, I don't have to talk to him. I don't need to talk to him. It's just me and you, we in the walk. He's not in the walk. You don't understand. Red flag. Right? You remember those silly women? Right? For those that are single, your brother's pitching you woo in a line, trying to get at you, and he's talking about under the guise of, I'm teaching her. I'm teaching her. And the expectation is maybe, doing this teaching while I'm telling her how she's supposed to submit. And so she's supposed to be honoring me and this, that, and the other. Maybe she get me something else, You have some relations. Huh? We don't do that. They do that in the world. Right? They do it in the world at large. It's okay, it's acceptable. Both men and women do it. There's no virtue in the world anymore. Women don't care. They don't care how high their body counts get, as they call it, right? Body count. That's the word, the term. They don't care about that. They don't care how many, they don't care about being, there's some that might care, there's a little fraction of the world that might still care about being, the virginity of keeping their purity and so forth, both men and women. But the majority of them, you hear it in the music. You be turning the dial sometimes, and there's that one that foot stumper that come on. There's that foot stumper that come on. You're like, that beat is slamming, man. And then you sit there tapping that, yeah. And he talking about fornicating, committing adultery, huh? And you just bobbing your head, yeah. Man, I know that song is bad, but man, that's a slamming beat. All right, but understand that the wicked don't mean that. Her position is under your responsibility, your wife. And if you don't honor that, he said your prayers will be hindered. The wife should live in such a way that it should draw her husband. But if you're living in a way that doesn't draw him, if you're a believer, he's an unbeliever. If he just says, I don't believe in this crap, you're trying to figure out, why are you staying with me then? Right? But you're going to still love him. You're going to still do what he has to do unless, like I said, get with your counsel, get with your leadership, let him talk to you, let him talk to him if he wants to be talked to. If it's a real abusive relationship, it's no sin in separating. But most times, you don't know if you're going to save him or not. You don't know if he's going to be delivered or not. You don't know if he's going to come over or not. Just be faithful to the things that Yahuah has given you to do. And it's just, I'll submit to my husband. So if he wants you to make a pork chop sandwich, guess what you do? Make him a pork chop sandwich. Huh? Make that man a sandwich. You ain't eating it. It's his house. Huh? Put on a mask. You worried about that? Wear a mask. Huh? That's that man's house. I'm trying to tell you, right? If he loves his woman enough and she says, baby, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't think it's good for our health. I think we need to change. 9 times out of 10, the man says, baby, I love you so much. I don't care. You don't have to cook that no more. We good. We can change our diet, blah, 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 blah. He'll go along with it. Okay. But if sometimes you meet the one that don't, all right. I'm talking broad strokes, not specific. It's just broad strokes. Different folks, yeah, broad strokes. All right. What if I'm not married? What if I'm not married? Hebrews 13:17. Yahuah got you covered. Obey them that have rule over you and submit yourselves. Isn't that something? For they watch over your souls as they must give an account. Your husband's account for you, your husband's account for you, but anybody that's not married, that guy right there, this guy right here, those in leadership. Yeah. We got to give an account. So you should use them. Talk to them. Advise them. Say, I plan on doing this and I plan on doing that. What do you think? Right? Yeah, don't do that. Oh, yeah, you can do that. You know. But if you say, I don't want nobody in my business, then guess what? You stand before the Most High on your own. Good luck. Good luck. All right? Best luck. That they may do it with joy and not with grief, that it is unprofitable, because that's unprofitable for you. If you're a troublemaker, but you're always in trouble, and they give you an advice, and you don't want to ever take it, they're gonna be like, my goodness, this is a waste of time. Why are you talking to me? And don't get mad when they get blunt. Why are you coming here? Why you want to talk to me? You never do nothing I tell you to do. You just ask me a question. You antagonize every time. You don't want to do it. You just feel like you don't have to listen. What is it that you want? Are you following the Mashiach? Are you keeping Yahuwah's commandments? What's going on? All right. Let's see. He gave us some instructions about this, right? He said, you should not mistreat the widow or the fatherless. Right? The widows or the fatherless. We don't mistreat those people. We care for them. Every one of us, we're all a family. We watch out for one another. If you do mistreat them and they cry out, I will surely hear their cry. Deuteronomy 10:17-19. For Yahuwah, your Elohim, is an Elohim of mighty ones and an Adon of masters, the great, the mighty, and the awesome Elohim, who is not partial and takes no bribes. He executes justice for the fatherless. Right? Why does he say fatherless? Why don't say motherless? What is the father supposed to do? And he's supposed to, right? So you come here with your children and you don't necessarily are married, you got protection. We're supposed to do that. We're supposed to take up that slack. We're supposed to be there, be that righteous beacon, that light, that one that can speak into their lives and help them along and get them where they need to go and point them in the right direction as we're helping you along. And then maybe Yahuwah adds you to a family, maybe Yahuwah brings a brother along, who knows, you know? Whatever Yahuwah plan for you is. But we are here to cover one another, all right? But in the widows and loves the sojourner and giving him food and clothing, love the sojourner, therefore, for you were sojourners in the land of Mitzrayim, right? Hospitality, back to that. Hospitality. Take care of one another. And I think that's it for the day. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? That's me loving you and trying to get to where we're going. Because if we dysfunctional, everything is dysfunctional. If my house ain't right, then I can't come here and pretend like it's right. Huh? If I'm walking out of order, she walking out of order. We talking about Baruch Hashem Yahuah, love you. Fake smiles and fake hugs and fake, don't want to be around. I'd rather stay home. I'd rather not come. I don't want to be a part. So now we got to fix some things. I'm trying to fix some things, because I want to be a unit. When the Most High comes, when I stand there, and she's doing what she's supposed to do, to walk with me and walking with Yahuah, then we present one. Go ahead, guys.
Shalom. Okay. So Aki, I just got a question for us, like with Adam naming the animals. How long did it take for him to name the animals?
That's all. I don't know. I was wondering. I think about all the animals in the world. I don't know. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. But I don't know. It doesn't name it. Doesn't say. I haven't read a book yet that says it.
Slikamori, I think I might have.
You have an answer?
Yeah, I think so, because even to
Where you
this
got it
day, hold on, Maury. Even to this day, Adam, meaning man, is still naming animals. They're still discovering animals all over the globe that have been discovered. Mankind
as a whole is still discovering things.
Mhm.
I understand.
And every time there is a new discovery, man is naming them.
They name it after themselves too. They name it after themselves too. They name it after themselves too. In other words, it's not of Yah. It's an abomination. They're trying to do work, making back to that, making a name for themselves and making trying to say we don't need the Creator. We can discover and do things, and we can make our own platypuses.
Because I see it all the time on Planet Earth, like Planet Earth 2 or whatever, and they're like, well, these have, we've discovered A, B, and C and all this, and then they've never, a new discovery.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, sis. I got you. I got you. Who we got? Kanisha? Did I answer your question, Kanisha?
I didn't have a question. I just
earlier.
Yes, you did. Toda Rabah. Very, very. What I wanted to say basically is an awesome lesson. I am so appreciative, Baruch Hashem Yahuah, because this lesson helped me to realize I was carrying stuff that I shouldn't have been carrying, and it's just, I felt like, if I can put like a visual on it, I felt like I put something down today that I should not have been carrying. And that's what I love about the assembly of what has brought us, Michael and I, into, is it's almost like you see something on us spiritually, and it's like you're removing, not you, but the Father is just removing these layers of things that, and adding the things that He needs on us, and it's a wonderful feeling of shalom. So Toda Rabah, Baruch Hashem Yahuah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right. So, Ak, we ready? You want to do that? Want to present? You want to do that? You're going to stop recording.